Look at Damali.
Yes, right. There you go, Damali. It's the content. It's the content. You will not like me today. Y'all hear me? You will not like. There is nothing about me you're gonna like. You will hate me so much. And here's the deal. It won't be me. This is what I express as all y'all cut your cameras on. This is what I express to, I think, okay. This is what I expressed earlier. You got to move that over here. This is what I expressed earlier, y'all. Katrina, your job is not to like me. Not that I'm mean. I'm not mean. I'm very unempathetic. Now that you can
I
say.
just don't like the truth, sir. That's all. That is it.
That's what it is.
I don't like the truth.
Y'all hear it? Because as your therapist, because that's the role I'm playing, as your therapist, Ken's wife, or Ken can't go to his wife and be a therapist. Because as a therapist, I'm supposed to poke and prod in places you don't like. Now, if your wife do that to you, if your mama do that to you, if your husband do that to you, it's off with their head. Because when somebody poke and prod and you got to kiss them in the mouth, the only thing you're going to say is, this is too toxic. I can't do this no more. When it's your therapist, you say, well, I paid your dumb ass to tell me what you just said. You are expertly dumb. You got degrees and you dumb. You don't know a damn thing about me. And then 9 months later, you be like, oh my God, Dr. Arshia, you saved my life. Right? You do that. As your therapist, which is my job, you're not going to like me today. You will not like this class. You will not. I'm going to hit every last one of y'all triggers because today we talk about trauma and the law of attraction.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why am I getting the distinct impression
because we did
that
this
you're
already.
enjoying this just a little bit too much?
Come on, Jerome. I agree with Jerome on this one.
I was actually thinking that. I was like, he seems to be having too much fun.
Kim, it's like an
Look
orgasm.
at him. Look
Kim.
down at him.
It's an orgasm. I am just, every time y'all get mad at me, it's just awesome. It is just awesome. I am orgasmically enthralled in ruffling your feathers.
I apologize for asking that question. That's too much. That's too much information.
Ooh, that felt good. Ooh, because look, we did this earlier today. It was perfect. Everything was perfect, and we kumbaya. But at the sound of the word trauma, MFers said Antonio got me effed up, and he can die as far as I'm concerned.
That whole call was quiet at the beginning. Shit, I was like, okay, I don't know if I was serious. I was like, wait a minute.
It was torturous. You hear me, Kill? It was torturous. Antonio had everybody messed up. Stupid son of, he think he know everything. Get on my God. You understand. And in fairness, Trey Nace, you got another 4 months of this. It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
A whole nother 4 months?
Whole nother 4 months. Here's the premise of this call. Grace, pull up your notes from today about that video because you're going to post that out. And then all y'all, this is a cameras on class. It's only 2 classes in ATS that's a cameras on class. And that is the All Things Tech now as we are building y'all $1 billion company. And then there is this class, okay? There's this class. That's it. This class, in fairness, is really going to ruffle your feathers. And if you thought this morning, or I guess, well, it was morning for us, afternoon for you, if East Coast, was bad, I'm going to play the same video. We're going to go deeper, but I got 2 more videos after it. I only played 1. Yes.
Wait,
only play one.
wait, because the
Ah,
first was good
shoot.
enough.
Tell them what you said earlier, Deanna. You said it public and you told me after the call. Listen to what she said.
I learned more in those 4.5 minutes than I have my entire life. When I tell you, I would be on, I would have a plan, executing the plan, be like, yeah, I got this, doing great for a whole week, and then I get triggered. And
Listen,
I'm like,
hold on, Deanna. Let me ruffle some more feathers. Thank you so much. You just your freckled face looks so good while you're telling the truth. You're doing a good job. Let me tell y'all something. It's too early for this, Adonia, because y'all not ready yet. I haven't told you check your integrity. It's too early. I need 2 more months to start aggressively approaching your integrity. But y'all are so traumatized that when a man or a woman or any authority figure say, do this, if they are not a white man, that's not race involved. This is not race. It's not race involved. But we all know we live in a world in which you do what the white man said. I don't give a damn what you say. You can lie to me all you want to. White man said the interview is at 2 p.m., Kim. You're dressed up at 2. So when I tell y'all, cameras on this class, you motor scooters, make sure you don't have to cut your cameras on to 15 minutes. You would never do that.
My camera on.
I hear you, but I'm still gonna press my points. You understand? I'm still gonna press my point. Because my point is, it's not coming from a place of disrespect. See, I took up for everybody earlier, Kim. It's coming
Antonio?
from a place of trauma. Yes, sir.
I had to watch the end of Jeopardy.
That is important, okay? Because my grandmother used to do that. You understand what I'm saying? My grandmother used to do that. But think about this. You are so traumatized, you fight for authority in places you don't have to. It's like the white officer and the black person in the neighborhood. They're both fighting for authority. The white officer can't lose authority because then the police department loses authority. But the black person can't lose authority because he ain't got nothing else but his authority. So now what happens is you have this unnecessary battle for aggression over some pseudo fact that is authority. Did you see what I just did there?
You know, it's crazy though, Antonio, because when it comes to that, you just saying that, I realized that in that case, I can see your point with it, but sometimes I do that with my family more than I do that with other people outside.
That's right.
I can listen to everybody else outside, but with my family, I'm like, what? I ain't doing that or whatever.
What a great point. So much. You know, Yolanda, you were a blessing on that earlier call too, and she was a blessing for 1 hour because she had to jump out and go do her own, you know.
And don't let me tell you what my therapist said. My therapist
the same damn thing work. I said.
She said shadow work. Ooh, that's a good one. I ain't heard that. I'm gonna have to use that. Wait a minute. He said shadow work.
See, y'all go through. I teach my own therapist. Do you understand? I teach my own therapist. My therapist, they love me or they hate me. They love me or they hate me. I want you to receive something, Trey Nash. I said this up front. Grace, put them notes out there for me, Grace. Y'all gonna watch this video. I said this up front. I'm sending it to all of you now. You need to cut yourself some slack, Trey Days. Because when you are disrespectful, when you are defensive, when you just need to be heard, Katrina, that's not you. It's your response to the trauma you've been through. And nobody gets to judge you for that. Not me, not your mate, and God never will. I got you, Deanna, but hold on. Let me massage everybody's shoulders right now. When you do dumb things, when you say, but you didn't hear me, when you're so angry because you've been offended, that's not you. It is your natural response to trauma because you are a trauma victim. Hear me well and listen. And I know y'all saved, and this video about to talk about that. And I know you got a logical brain and you ain't never been through nothing and you got over it. But trauma don't give a damn, Otis, what you got over. As soon as you stop reading that book, trauma gonna bring a flashback. She cheated on you. Some of y'all mad. Some of y'all get flashbacks from 1983. And some of y'all mama dead. And your mama still running your life while you living. So listen to me. The same way as I finish this water, and mom, I'm gonna have to pee, Katrina. That's a natural bodily reaction. And I'm telling you, Trey Nace, when you go through trauma, there's natural side effects to that. So when you do dumb stuff, cut yourself some slack. Because when you are a trauma victim, dumb stuff is as natural as going to the restroom after drinking water. And that's the truth. Go ahead, Deanna, please.
Okay, so 2 things. Doing dumb stuff is like drinking water to quench it's a natural thing. Because I be wondering, like, what the hell is wrong with that? Was the dumbest thing.
Right.
But the question that I have for you, because this is not the first time you've said that,
No.
and I have yet to receive
that's why I keep
how to do it.
That's why I got 2 of these classes back to back.
How do I give myself a damn break when I've been doing it for 39 years?
And you know what? Here's the deal. You haven't been killing yourself for 39 years. Somebody else's standards taught to you have been killing yourself for 39 years. It's never been you. This is what I'm trying to get across to y'all. That self-talk you got, somebody taught you that. You can be all holy. Ooh, no, only master of my life is Jesus. You's a damn lie. You is a lie. Because for Jesus ever got to you, your mama did. You understand? And I'm here. I'm gonna play it. Listen, this is what the video is gonna start off with 2 brains. And my thesis for today is gonna say, Katrina, you're not attracting anything outside of your trauma brain. You're not ready to receive that. So I'm gonna let this white man tell it to you so you can properly receive it. But here's the truth. Most of y'all law of attraction come through your trauma brain. And then you wonder why the things that come into your life are so traumatic, so mixed, so dumb. Because it ain't you. It's your trauma representing you, attracting things for you. Go ahead, Phil.
I think the guy's yellow.
I think he you know what? He actually, I think so too. Absolutely. He really is. He really is. But did y'all hear? I'm saying Kim looking like Janet Jackson again. Okay. I'm saying Kim. Every time I think of a woman with a chocolate woman with a bandana, I see poetic justice. Every time. Every time. Y'all had to be in the 90s. I'm saying, Trey Nace, yes, you polite. Read your comment. Yes, you politely. And my grandmother called that nice nasty.
That's it.
Okay. Because we all have in our head, my hands up first, we all made a vow of what we'll never go through again. Yes? Am I the only one? Just me and Phil?
No, you're not the only one.
Oh, so the rest of y'all too? We all did it. We've all went, I'm never going to go through that again. Because it was traumatic. And I'm telling everybody listening to me, and make sure you have your cameras on, except for Adonia, she driving. Everybody listening to me, I'm telling y'all 2 things. You're attracting. Oh, you driving to Stradivari, don't die. You good. You good to go. You good to go. We love you, brother. Don't die. Okay. All of you, listen to me. I'm saying 2 things until I get to the second video. you need to cut yourself some slack. Because all that reaction stuff, you let people like me, Katrina, tell you, see, that's your problem. You don't know how to treat a good man. No, that's not the truth. Your problem is you're traumatized and you're reacting through your trauma. And my dumb ass is so judgmental and unempathetic. I'm telling you, you don't know how to treat a man. That was for my ladies. I just want to go ahead and just, you know what I'm saying?
Did that come from your trauma?
Of course. Whenever I don't understand what you're going through, it's from my trauma or my ignorance. And they both walk the same line.
Mm.
The Krishnamurti said, the highest form of human intelligence is to be able to observe oneself without judgment.
Absolutely. What a great quote. Hear me, Chiquita. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. I'm telling all y'all suck. But all of us suck. Paul says we're all dung. All of this. He's just an anointed piece of dung over here. Dung, nevertheless. Come on, that's King James. That's King James. That's what he say. That's what he says. All of us suck. But none of us are imperfect and none of us have done anything wrong ever. See, that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. But I'm telling you, all that stuff, you know, people, Adrian, all that gooning Adrian did, they let her hold her to her past. That was trauma.
Mm.
And then here's what happened. The damn people who cause us trauma got the nerve to judge us for having a trauma reaction. Oh, y'all don't want to hit me today. Like the very person who is the problem has the audacity to come to Trey Days and be like, what's wrong with you? You is what's wrong with me.
Antonio, what I say is they got their foot on your neck and ask you why you can't get up.
Exactly. Cut you 15 times and get mad for you bleeding on them. Trauma is not a part of everybody's lives. But black sheep, dreamers, women, providers, black people, you were born in trauma. It's not fair. So when you got that attitude, when they say, I don't know, Yolanda, you always just look mean. It's trauma. She's been taught not to smile. Now you want to judge her for not smiling when you don't even try to help her smile. Come on, Damali. I'm going to play this video right because we talking today, Katrina.
No, I literally had to apologize to my husband this afternoon for my trauma. Because
that damn class today was tough, y'all.
He came in and he was because the kids, you know, my kids love YouTube and they always watch these annoying families, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha all day. And my husband was like, what? Why do y'all like that? Why is that entertaining? And I was like, babe, don't harass them about what they like. They just like it. Just let them be. I'm not harassing them. I'm just asking them questions. Why you always got to shut me down every time I start talking to the kids? And I had to sit there and I was like, you know what? You're right. You know where that comes from, babe? It comes from my mom being overcritical of me all the time. So my trauma was like, no, don't let your husband be overcritical to your kids. Stop them right there so they don't feel what you felt and end up like how you ended up. And I was like, I apologize for that.
That's
I'm working on it.
Damn breakthrough, y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to loudly clap for her.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Damali.
Oh, man. And let me tell you, Damali, folk like me, all these, there's a few, all of y'all are ascended on this call. There's a couple of us super ascended. Phil, Grace, Deanna, Tempest, different thing. Don't think I left. If you think I left your name out, that's kind of the problem right there. Okay. I want you to process this information. We all know, Damali, what you just did. There's a blessing unlocked for you right now, greater than you can ever expect and greater than anything you can ever exceed. And the only way you don't get it is if you go back and undo the breakthrough you just did. Every single person on this call has a return on your energy that is rightfully yours. And it is only when you go back to those same behaviors do you delay that return of your energy. Y'all hear that? Come on,
that's good, sir. That's good, sir. Thank you. That's good.
Interesting. That's interesting, Damali, that you said that, because that really brought to my memory what happened day before yesterday with my husband and one of my kids. And see, my husband, that's not their biological father or anything like that. No, my kids are big kids now. So it's like any kind of disagreement he has with them, I kind of shut it off right then and there. Don't talk to them like that or whatever. So it makes them kind of feel like, oh, well, he can't, because mom corrected him or whatever and stuff. And I'm looking like what you saying that was like, oh, I need to sit back and let him say, because it's not hurting them. It may hurt their feelings, but it's not hurting them, and I've come to the point of being a protector because I've allowed people, well, I didn't allow, because I didn't know things were happening to them. Like stuff happened to them and I was not there. So it's like, now I got to protect them there in my presence. I wish you would say something they don't like, or, I'm going to stand up for them. So like what you just saying that made me realize I need to just be quiet and watch, because he's not hurting them. He may say stuff from appearance of a know-it-all, but it's like, okay, so that just made me think for real. Sometimes I do need to be quiet.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's an equal breakthrough. Come on.
Yes.
Hi, Yolanda.
Now I need to say something so real that I'm gonna run to this video right after. It's so real, Queen Chi, I'm gonna have to hide behind this video. You hear me? I'm gonna have to hide behind this video. It's so real what I'm about to say. Now, her husband is white. The same way white people taught the whole, so what we call white, there's only one race, human race, but 9/10 of the whole world are people of color, just so we're clear. Yet, there's only one religion on the planet. Let me rewind that. There's only one religion on the planet with one God. There you go. That allows an image of God, and that is Christianity. And that image through 9/10 of the world, 10/10 of the world is white. So the same way that white people taught people of color, shut the fuck up, God is white, is the same way that Yolanda is teaching her black kids, shut the fuck up, that white man is the devil. I said you wouldn't go like it, and I said it was so real, I was gonna have to hide behind this video. We think, ooh, these people are bad. We doing the same thing. But since we're saying, like literally every time Yolanda say something, she's saying, don't listen to the white man, he the devil, kids. You teaching these kids this. And the truth is, there's no such thing as white. There's no such thing as black. There's no such thing as a devil. Sorry about that for y'all. I do apologize. And there's no such thing as anybody doing the wrong thing. But of course, people don't agree with that. That's why y'all are weird, because you're the people who dare to freely think, as I hide behind this video.
Hey, welcome back. Today, I really wanted to think about what's the best way to teach teachers about trauma without getting them distracted with all the technical stuff, and what's the most important thing for them to understand and learn. And I thought that the best way to do it might be to just make a difference between a learning brain versus a brain in survival mode. So we'll just call it learning brain versus survival brain. And this is the difference. So learning brain is this brain that's open to learning new information, and it's completely okay with ambiguity and grays and vagueness, and it sees the big picture.
Okay, Grace reposted notes. What I'm gonna give y'all the same courtesy I gave them earlier. I'm gonna pause at key points and talk, but it's gonna go faster this time because we already got notes. A learning brain is a brain in flow. Open, not offended. If you're open, you're not right. If you're open, you don't mind losing.
Pulls back and is on the balcony, can look over the forest and figure out what's going on. On an emotional level, people in learning brain feel calm, peaceful, maybe a little excited about what they're about to learn, maybe a little playful and having fun too. And
law of attraction, a learning brain feels good, feels calm, and is not stressed. A learning brain is always at ease.
Definitely curious, and they're not afraid of making mistakes because it's just part of the learning process.
A learning brain is not afraid to look stupid, be stupid, or be accused of being stupid. A learning brain takes risk because it knows it's part of the process.
And so they're not really thinking about themselves, and they actually feel a little bit of confidence that if they just apply themselves, they might pick up what they're trying to learn. Now, survival brain, on the other hand, is completely different. It's hyper-focused on threat. It doesn't like ambiguity. It wants clear, hard facts. It thinks in black and white terms.
A survival brain is hyper, that means too much focus on being wrong, being proved wrong, and people messing up their mood, messing up their atmosphere. I want to see all of y'all because y'all not. There we go. Absolutely focused on defending themselves, being heard. A survivor brain needs a step-by-step process for everything. Doesn't like ambiguity, which means unclearness. Doesn't like when God don't answer, and don't like when Antonio take too long to answer a question serving everybody else. A survival brain can't stand being let down and their expectations not being met. And a survival brain says, saved or not saved, with me or not, friend or foe, either or. You love me or you don't.
Want anything to be gray at all. And then emotionally, you can imagine that survival brain makes people feel panicky, feel like a little obsessive and afraid of getting things wrong. And they don't feel calm and open to learning new things. They just want to get things over with. And people in survival brain also really don't like making mistakes, and they are afraid of looking stupid too. So students in survival brain don't want to be picked on. They don't want to raise their hand and ask questions and look stupid. And so these people are also filled with doubt about their own.
People in survival brain are always thinking everyone's laughing at them. They're always thinking they're being singled out and called out. They're always thinking they're being used and abused, and they're always thinking things are against them and never for them. And people with survival brain absolutely hate being embarrassed, publicly embarrassed, or looking stupid for any single reason. And people with survivor brain always have to be right.
Ability to learn stuff, and they're afraid that other people can see how stupid they really are. Now, it's really important to understand how learning brain and survival brain interact, because survival brain always trumps learning brain. And it makes sense because survival brains just
survival brain always trumps learning brain. The way we say that in the real world, Kim, is your dominant thoughts always attract, not your conscious thoughts. Your survival brain is your law of attraction. Your survival brain is your subconscious. Your survival brain is attracting into your life more reasons to feel threatened.
Save your life. And so if it thinks that there's something dangerous happening, you better pay attention to it, right? But the tricky thing is that as survival brain stays on longer and longer, it's harder to get out of that. And it's harder to really go into learning brain.
Once you start getting into survival brain, which is typically after 8 years old when you're locked into it, it's impossible nearly to get out of it. And you can always tell by your reaction and your harvest, because the survival brain is attracting the things you don't want. But of course, your learning brain says, this is what we want, but your survival brain is stronger than your learning brain.
And the way I think about it is kind of like the myth of Sisyphus. You know that guy who has to push a rock up a hill and then every day it falls.
I'm not going to say a single thing while this little chalkboard is up, because this hit everybody hard earlier.
Falls back down and he has to do it over and over again. Well, being in learning brain is like being up on the high parts of that mountain. You can see the expanse of what's going on, but it also takes a lot of work to be up there. And at any second, if you're not paying attention and putting effort into it, it's so easy to slip back into survival brain again. And that rock that Sisyphus is trying to push up, well, that's kind of like stress. And the more stressed you feel, the heavier and bigger that rock gets. Intense thing. And so with trauma, any little stress would. And because people would, rock just stays big all the time. Now the good news is that the more you can in learning brain, right? Because that rock is a lot smaller. And what I really want to highlight for teachers is that the best way to keep students in learning brain goes back to why I spent so much time talking about attachment. Students best learn when they feel like they're safe and supported by the adults around them. So it's kind of like a baby elephant. You know how like on those nature shows, the baby elephant is like playing with leaves or exploring a tree or something like that and having a lot of fun. And the only reason why they can do that is because there's a whole group of mama elephants around that baby protecting it and looking out for danger. So a kid with trauma or who's stuck in survival brain, it's kind of like that baby elephant who doesn't have protective adults around them. They can't play and learn because they're way too focused looking out for threat and danger. So this is why I really believe that the most important thing that schools need to focus on, way more important than any kind of techniques or curricula, is really whether or not they are creating that environment where students feel like they're surrounded by these big mama elephants who are going to protect them and watch out for them and make them safe. And when students have that, I bet you it unlocks their curiosity, their eagerness to learn and play as a way to learn. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks.
All right. Before we comment, I'm gonna offer y'all the same transparency I gave this morning. I told my therapist this morning, I done been through 1,000 therapy sessions and blah, 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 because I'm a combat veteran, war trauma, blah, blah, blah. I said, Doc, here's the deal. I know exactly what to do. As a matter of fact, I teach people what to do. I'm good at doing it. I medicate on positivity. Ain't nothing wrong with me. As a matter of fact, I'm good at making sure ain't nothing wrong with me. But the moment I stop for 1 second, the 1,000 years of good I've done, my traumatized brain erases that in 1 second with a flashback. All it takes is 1 second. And I feel like I got to start this whole lifetime over again. Suicidal thoughts? Show you right. Ain't no sense in me starting all over again when I could just die and start from scratch and not have this problem. I didn't say that earlier, but that was actually the end of that statement. Can we talk? Thesis, I've given it to you. Y'all are attracting through your survival brain. That's why God has good things happening to you and they never pay off in your pocket. Jerome,
that comment that he made about the teachers is, I know for sure is 100% true because I saw it in my son. His kindergarten teacher did not care a hoot about any of the kids, and you could tell that was just not her focus. She really shouldn't have been teaching. He makes it to first grade, and in kindergarten, he's real kind of quiet. He won't say anything. He's afraid to get an answer wrong. So when they ask him, he just says, I don't know, because he won't say an answer because he doesn't want to be wrong. Gets to first grade, has an amazing teacher, and all that just falls to the side. And he's open, he's answering questions, he's engaged, he's learning, all because of the teacher was different. That's all it was.
Amen. You know what I'm saying? We all know this. We all have that. We all know it, and we all know it to be true. You get the right therapist, you get the right teacher, you get the right husband, you get the right wife. They'll completely propel your life forward. Here's the link to that video. All right. Was it my internet that messed up, Deanna, or yours?
It was at 7 p.m.
Oh,
it was
7
on
p.m.
the dot.
Grace did tell me. I forgot about that.
The dot.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The motor resets at 7 p.m. Hear me? Okay, she said, I found it. I'm going to send it to my supervisor. Good. Good. Hear me, y'all. Hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me. As good as you think you are. But your trauma brain is attracting for you. And if I cannot get y'all to reconcile that while that illustration said you got a learning brain and a trauma brain, you only got one brain, cuz. So you can let me break it down and tell you got two brains. You got one brain, Jerome. And you are going through trauma and attracting from that trauma.
And that needs to stop because I got things to do.
That was well said. That was well said. Do you understand what I'm saying? Who here is willing to admit? Grace is always she did. Me, I'm just so jacked up. Me. Who here is willing to admit that you know for sure after learning this, your law of attraction has flowed through your trauma?
Yes. I know that for a fact. I said that to my therapist with, like, when I say I was in that room, I wish y'all could have been fly on the wall because I had so much passion about what was said. And she was just looking at me and just like, oh, well, I see you got fired to change it. And, you know, I'm just explaining everything. And I'm like, it's like an eye opening over here and an eye opening over here. And that's why that happened. And that's what I pulled to me. And that's why I get in relationships to where I feel like I got to fix people because, you know, my father had it all and this and that. So I'm just going through the whole scenario. So it's like 40 years I've been attracting these things. And that's why I had that problem with, I believe in God and I have faith, but then it causes that problem. I've been attracting this stuff. And like I told her, until I get this fixed, I cannot step into what is purpose for me.
Yep. Just so y'all know, Yolanda said on an earlier call, I love God so much, I believe in God. But I'm recognizing, Antonio, through this trauma, I don't believe in God to give me more than $9 an hour.
See, come on. See,
Do y'all hear that? Her trauma has affected her income so much her God is so poor, he can't give her $12 an hour.
And so I feel like my sole purpose with God was to help me survive my children, help me to survive the bare minimum of paying bills, help me to stay on assistance, or help me not to lose assistance, and or help me to be able to like do the little things and just be able to do the little amount and have just enough and do little stuff or whatnot. So it's like, when everybody say God is bigger than that, and that brings me back to that conference we had with the women and stuff, when Queen Chi had the conference, when the lady said to me, God is bigger than what you think. So it's like this whole time I'm thinking God is just allowing me to survive. He's allowing me to float. And I'm like, thank you for the blessings. Thank you for the blessings. It's like, but everybody else saying he has so much more. Like, okay, well, how do I get that? Because I just been with the 9 to 5 and the little bits.
Let me tell you something. 90% of the people saying he got so much more don't have more.
Oh my God, yes.
It's a whole lot of people with the reputation of more who don't have it. Let me tell y'all something.
I would definitely say that, just for Sandra, one of the things that you have talked about in previous settings was that you can say that you believe these things, and yet it's not showing that you have it. So one thing that will make you or force you to not have it, or to live in what you are saying that you believe in, is that you are spending the time that you need to spend on focusing on what you're supposed to be doing to get there. And that is trying to pull everybody else that has not made up in their mind as of yet how to get there. And you can't get there and try to pull everybody else there too, because they're not going to move, because like Yolanda just said, that wasn't my belief. So I'm not going to try to go somewhere where I don't believe. But it keeps whoever is trying to pull people to where you believe is there, and you know that they should be there, they can't get there, which means you can't get there either. Like having an anchor in the wrong place.
Yep. Well,
Just
look,
saying.
no. Well, don't even say just saying. You saying wild stuff. Don't even invalidate it. I'm a full supporter of Sandra. Listen to me. You'll have mothers kill their daughters by accident because the mother is trying to act like she got it all together when she don't. Because you don't want to see your child, you don't want your child to see you figuring it out. So your child grow up and get abused by a man, by me, who figured it out.
And that's what I don't want to have happen.
I just had this conversation.
Talk to me, Trey Base.
So, I belong to a church. I believe in God, but I believe women do their daughters a disservice when they say, wait until you fall in love to have sex. Wait for this and wait for that. So the truth is, what I told my daughter is, sex is sex, love is love. If you want to have sex, then have sex. I hope that you'll wait until you're married and fall in love and all of that. But in the event that you cannot, please believe it's just sex and hormones. Believe that. And the reason why you want to tell your daughter the truth, because some boy
like me
gonna say,
intellectual, charismatic, got it together.
If you love me, you will give it to me.
Come on now.
And
I'm gonna say it with a deep voice too.
When he say that, and she said, oh, he done told his boys. And now you got a label of sleeping around with somebody you let convince you that you would give your precious ooey gooey goodness to a dum-dum.
I see no faults here. I'm gonna use ooey gooey goodness real soon. I'm gonna find a way to
I
put
went
it
through
in.
that phase, let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a way to put it in the sentence. Pastor,
Antonio, please
Pastor.
don't. Please don't do that.
Don't you be like, Pastor, what you know about the ooey gooey goodness? She's right. Well, she's right. She gonna go to hell saying it in the church, but she right. You understand? She on her way to sinful hell. No $200 collect go. But it's always some boy like me. Then I showed that a video last week, huh? Men like me know exactly who to point out. Look at. Yeah. Ooh, look at Kim. You know what I'm saying? Not this Kim, that old Kim. Not this Adonia, that other Adonia. I can't fool this Adonia and that this Kim. They over it. They are over it. You understand what I'm saying? They are completely over it. They not getting food no more. I can't fool these. But they want them other ones, you know, the 23-year-old Kim and Adonia. You understand what I'm saying? I plot on them. I can see who had false self-esteem, and we prey on that. No different than women prey on men the same way. Because, you know what? I was going to save this video. Look, I was going to save this video. I was going to let y'all make it, but apparently Trey Nace wants y'all to have full, you know what? I'm going to hide behind this video.
Now, you've got these two evil creatures here, the fox and the cat. I think this one's based on one of the Marx brothers, actually, Harpo Marx, who I believe never said anything. But be that as it may, they're these ne'er-do-well characters. The fox in particular. Now, fox is a standard trickster animal, right? It's a classic animal, maybe because it's good at hiding and it's good at hunting. I don't know exactly why, but and coyotes are like that too. They're classic trickster animals. He's kind of like Wile E. Coyote, in fact, you know, the Warner Brothers character who's genius at large, and of course whose arrogance continually gets him walloped. And this character has a lot of features like that, but he feigns being an English gentleman of like the 1890s and pretends to be educated, and he has a kind of high-blown way of talking, and he's a fraud through and through. And he's got this, you know, sidekick who is barely there at all, and he doesn't treat him that well, but he's got someone to lord it over, so that keeps his dominance hierarchy thing going well. And the fact that he's like a second-rate companion, well, he never really notices that, although he'll treat him contemptuously whenever he gets a chance. So anyways, they're walking down the street, and the fox is bragging away about some crooked thing that he's done and how he pulled the wool over someone's eyes, and he confuses that with wisdom and intelligence. And one of the things that you see, this is worth knowing too, because if you're preyed upon by a psychopath, which you will be to some degree at some point in your life, the psychopath, who will be narcissistic, will presume that you're stupid and that you deserve to be taken advantage of because you're naive and stupid. So it's actually a good thing that he's doing it. And his proof for, and I'm saying he because there are more male psychopaths, the proof that you're stupid, naive, is that he can take advantage of you. And so, like, if you were wiser, you'd be, you know, you'd know his tricks, and then it wouldn't be morally necessary for him to show you just exactly who knows what about what. And so the psychopath will use his ability to fool you as proof of his own grandiose omnipotence, omniscience, and narcissism. And the problem with that is that you can be fooled by a psychopath, and virtually anybody can. So that Robert Hare, for example, who studied psychopaths for a long time and interviewed a lot of them, like hundreds of them, and videotaped many of the interviews, he said when he was talking to the psychopath, he always believed what they were saying. And then he'd watch the video afterwards and see where the conversation went off the rails. But, you know, the proclivity to be polite in a conversation is very strong. And if you're polite, you don't object to the way that the person unfolds their strategy, you know. And psychopaths are pretty good at figuring out how to manipulate, obviously, how to manipulate people. And the probability that you will be immune to that is extraordinarily low. Go watch Paul Bernardo being interviewed by policemen on YouTube. That's that's enlightening, man. Paul Bernardo, he's like the CEO of a meeting in that video, you know. He gives the cops hell, he gives the lawyers hell, he protests his innocence. He basically tells them that they're rude and untrustworthy because they don't trust him because he did a few little things 17 years ago. And he gets away with it, a few little things, right? I mean, he killed a bunch of people, including the sister of his girlfriend at the time. And, you know, he was a repeat sexual offender and murderer. It's like, but he basically goes, well, you know, that's a long time ago. It's like, we're past that, aren't we? I mean, I'm having a discussion with you. I'm trying to help you solve some crimes, which, by the way, I committed, but we won't bring that up. You know, and you're accusing me of being a liar. Like, you're not playing fair. What's up with you? And then when they answer, he looks at his fingernails, which is like, that's a lovely little manipulative thing, because it basically means whatever happens to be under my fingernail at the moment is much higher priority than listening to your foolish story. And you watch, you'll see people do that to you. And then you get a little insight into what they're up to. He's very good at that. And so, or he looks outside, or he just looks at his hands, or he looks out the window, immediately dismissive in his nonverbal behavior. It's brilliant. The courts were forced to release that, by the way, but look it up, Paul Bernardo on YouTube. Wow, it's just mind-boggling. He's so good at what he does. And he's good-looking, and he's charismatic, and, you know, he can really pull it off. And you can't tell what's happening with the cops and the lawyers, whether they're just letting him play his routine to get some information from him, or whether he's actually setting them back. Robert Hare, for example.
I'll stop it right there. Now, he speaks at a high level, but everybody here understood. Psychopaths, narcissistic people, and most narcissistic people are empaths. Get over yourselves. That's DSM-5. That's DSM-5. You are genuinely so nice that you've become a narcissist. Go ahead, Phil.
I'm not going to like this either, but Todd Rundgren has a song, "Men are stupid, women are evil. That's just the way it's got to be. Happy anniversary." And the lyrics are, men will drag you to their den, and their feelings they won't share. And for years they do not care, and they think they are so smart, and they're not. The other side, like, women will use their sex to put a yoke around your neck, and they'll want you to change, and when you don't, they'll blame you. They'll have you to blame.
That was a doctor's degree in 1 minute of men and women, because that's what it was. That's what it was. You empaths are narcissists. So whether you be sociopath, psychopath, or narcissistic, you prey on folk, and all you folk who've been preyed upon become the predator. Am I lying? Is there a nice young lady, young man that wants to say, you know what? He did me like that, so eventually I got tired of it. And then, okay, come on now. Thank you so much.
I told you I can be manipulative as fuck. All because of what I've done in the past. I can switch things around quick. I'm trying to get better though, but I know I can do it.
And is there anybody in this crowd right now who will admit you have never looked at someone and said, I'm gonna get them in any way? Because I've never met that person. But should you be one of those people, you're more than welcome to have the floor. I want to hear.
Get them back.
Don't matter. That don't matter. If you got to ask that question, you guilty and you know it.
I'm guilty in my thoughts. Wait a minute. I think that's my problem.
To the person looking at me crazy in the grocery store, yeah, y'all gonna,
I think that's my problem, and maybe it's like if I don't get this stuff in check, I'll be that person that, like Medea, I'm gonna get you before you get me, basically. So I think because I've always held it in, I've always had the thoughts.
Fair
like
enough.
the thoughts, like
And
I
I'm
want
not
to
saying you
slice
wrong.
you up and
I
bury
feel
you.
I'm not saying you wrong. There are definitely people who have held it in. However, no, keep your mic on mute because you got to respond to this because it's an indictment. However, that always has to have a release. And
I know.
And you yourself said, I hold it in for sure until I get home.
Mm-hmm. So maybe it's like that release when I snap and get angry for something very little. Or go outside and
do
have
you
my
get
tantrums.
do you get angry or do you snap so you can no longer have control over your actions?
I think, well, I'll go back to the worst part that I ever had, and that was when I pulled a knife out on my husband's nail.
Well, then there you go. So
and my children had to step in because I was so enraged and I could not control myself.
Okay. No.
Yeah,
Everybody
it
listen
was
to me.
like, no, I'm serious, because it was like, no, don't stop, don't do that, don't go there, turn away, walk away. And as soon as I turned, I saw a knife, I grabbed it, and I just went.
Fair enough, but hear me well. You're right. I got this. This is not a correction. You good. You're absolutely right. I just want you to also see before you grab that knife, you thought about grabbing that knife.
I probably did.
Okay.
Because I wasn't faced to it. I know for a fact, I was like, if you don't shut the heck up, I'm going to mess you up.
And here's what I'm saying. And that sat there for a while, didn't it? Not just one day. I was telling Grace, no, I don't know who I was talking to today. I think it was Dion. I think it was Tempest. But I was telling them, it was Tempest. I was like, look, I don't blame Will Smith. I brought Will Smith. Well, it just came back up. And I was like, you don't understand how hard it is. Like Yolanda's saying, to do the right thing. Will Smith didn't mess up. No, it was Dion. I remember now. Will Smith didn't mess up on stage. He watched 23 years of being called not a protector. 23 years of being told you didn't do the right thing by me. I'm not blaming Yolanda. I'm telling you, yes, Yolanda snapped. I'm also telling Yolanda, but you use snap as an excuse not to be responsible for your actions. Just like y'all want Will Smith to be responsible, it's just like he snapped. Before any one of y'all ever snapped, your mind went to snap first. It may took Yolanda 40 years to snap, but she did snap.
You
dreamed about that snap.
Exactly.
I think I was, and I think it might be. Do you think it? I think it might be the fact of the tension that I was going through, and then it was like you are saying something, and I'm telling you to stop. And it's like all this stuff happening at the same time, and certain triggers for me, certain words you're saying to me. And it's like, I refuse for someone to get the handle of me this time. Never again the hostility or whatever.
Right there, you're now answering the question. Has anybody said, I'm gonna get you? That is, I'm gonna get you in a passive aggressive way.
Okay, I get it now.
That vow. No, you wouldn't, you would never deny it. That's not what you did. You was like, I don't know, because you never denied. You were struggling with the concept. You never tried to back out of that. That's what I don't want to make sure that you know and everybody else know. You were never weaseling your way out of that. Hear me. Every last one of us were preyed upon. And we all said no more. You know how I know this to be true? Because you would continuously be meat for the strong if you didn't become a predator yourself. The goal.
I know I'm one of those who use, instead of physical, I will use emotional manipulation or emotional abuse.
That's
quickly,
just
because that's how I was taught. That's what was done to me. So I've never been one to be like, I'm gonna go up and punch somebody out, but guarantee I'm gonna make you feel like you about this big. And that's what my mom did to me the whole time growing up. And I have to stop myself from doing that to my own kids, because I would catch myself saying something in some little snide comment, like guilt tripping them, and like, nope, go back and apologize. Tell them that is not how you meant that to come out, because you do not want them thinking of you like you do of your mother. Like that is your mama coming out. Put her away, start over.
That's right. That's right. Last week I had somebody, two things. Last week I had somebody try to emotionally guilt trip me. I was like, I don't do that. Oh, no, I don't do that. You can't tell me, well, you can't talk to me no more because I don't have to answer your phone call. They tried to emotionally guilt me for not answering a call. Let me tell you something about these phones. You got an option to pick them up. That's how that works.
Repeat that again, sir. Repeat that again.
These phones, you got an option to pick them up.
Yes.
When I deem that you are one of those inconsistent people that I can't tell which one of you gonna show up today, I won't be answering you today or tomorrow. In Jesus' name.
That's only fair.
That's the second.
Man, what'd I do?
The second thing is emotional empaths. Just empaths are the greatest emotional manipulators on the planet because you are geniuses at being emotionally manipulated. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying who else better knows about emotion manipulation than the empath? Because you've been getting emotionally manipulated until yesterday.
You know, that makes me feel bad because I think I see myself doing that to my kids when they don't act the way that I want them to, or they do something that is very, like, I don't want you to live that way or whatever. And then I'm like, you are hurting me, you're traumatizing, and y'all just want me to die. That's all.
Right. So that's you saying, I'm going to get y'all.
Yeah.
Next time you hurt me, I'm going to be victim and hurt y'all more than you hurt me. There it is. And is she the only one to do her kids like that? Raise your god dog. Let her know she ain't
You're not alone. You are not alone.
No, you're not alone. Not at all.
Not at all.
So much.
Get away from that. But yes,
I used to
my mother.
Right.
Because I feel like once I had my stroke behind stressing of trying to make sure that my children are protected, make sure that stuff, all that stuff. But it's like, okay, y'all just want to see me dead. So that's okay.
It's the same energy. You feel me? You get it? Y'all get it?
Oh, yeah.
That's the same energy.
Yes, I used to try to manipulate my kids that way and make them feel guilty, make them feel bad, and then I ended up with cancer. I should have kept my mouth shut.
Me
All
too.
people
Same thing happened.
When you hold super grudges, you end up with massive disease. Let me get John Calloway, then Trey next.
My mother and I didn't speak for 2 years because of that. She was always the victim. She would always, pull that stunt. I didn't speak to my mother for 2 years because of that.
Yep. And it did you some good not speaking to her for 2 years. Here's the worst part about separating yourself from somebody. When your life comes to pure peace because you separated yourself from somebody, it actually hurts more when they're close to you because you realize, damn, I gotta mourn you and you still living.
Yes.
I got to have a whole funeral for you and you still alive. I wish I had some folk that your siblings you've been mourning for 10 years now.
Ooh-wee.
Your whole parent, your whole daddy, your whole mother. I have had a whole funeral for both my parents and they still alive.
Shit, to be transparent, I was mourning my marriage this past weekend because I was like, man, it's over. It ain't. I'm gonna just have to stick in here so I can get stable, and it's just gonna be over.
Okay, who else has said that? Hold on, don't let her be out there by herself.
You are not by yourself.
That's me every other week.
You are not alone. Right there. I'm right there with you.
Wait, let me tell y'all something. I literally, a week and a half, been 8 days. 8 days that I had fasted. I said I was fasting. I went and fasted. Do y'all know the reason why I went and fasted? Because me and my husband got into it. And it was, some of it was about the word. He was like, you need to go and ask God. I said, I'm gonna ask God about this. And he was like, well, don't ask him just by praying, read the word. So you know me, I was like, whoo, no, you didn't try me on the word.
You sound like your mother right now, but keep on going.
So I went up there, wait a minute. So I went up there and I said, you know what? I'm gonna show you. I stumped off, went to the store, bought stuff or whatever. So I'm fasting. And it was like the day before yesterday when I cut my fast off. And why I cut my fast off, because I felt like I was fasting for the wrong reasons. I literally wrote in my journal. It had to be nobody but God to show me this in a journal, because I just kept writing. And when I read it, it was like, you fasting because you want to tattletale on your husband and say, see God, and then turn around and say, give me the answer, God, so I can go tell him he wrong about how he doing me. And then I want you to let me know if he's supposed to be in my life, period. Because if he not, he got to go.
That was damn show, God.
Hey,
Let me tell you
so
something.
I was like,
that was damn show, God.
Now wonder I can't fast the way I'm supposed to, and everything looked good. I sit up here and people were eating regular food. Why the heck ain't no cornbread around me, but I taste cornbread and honey in my mouth?
That's how it works.
I was like, Jesus, what is going on?
That's how it works.
I was on a Daniel fast. It wasn't like I couldn't eat nothing. I was just fruits and vegetables and good stuff. So it was like in this fasting, I realized so much about myself and the real reason why I was fasting. And I was like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta redo this because this ain't right.
That was definitely God talking to you. You hear me? If I ain't never heard the voice of God before, that was damn show God. You hear me? That
Can I
was
ask
clear.
her one question right quick, Antonio? When did you start your fast, Yolanda?
I started my fast. Hold up. I got it written down. Hold on. Well, I think it was the second, or no, it was the third.
Okay, so yeah. And this is what helped me. I watched an astrology video that talked about the hell that was going to happen with relationships, the third, fourth, and fifth. You questioning everything and having all kinds of conflict. Then that made me go back and reflect, like, okay, yeah, I had to go back and rethink and stop mourning my marriage, start working, and just change my whole attitude.
Wow, you just reminded me that this is 2 weeks. Last week, Tempest told me that same thing. Tempest told me, because Tempest is an oracle. Long story short, Tempest gave me a warning last week. Careful. Tempest was like, yeah, you know, the beans is on the kitchen and stuff. Oh, careful, by the way. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be. And then she told me 3 days ago, full moon's coming, and this, she used these little fancy words and stuff. And be careful for these two things happening. That's what Tempest did. She been a regular conversation.
Tempest, I'm gonna need you to drop some videos on Assembly of Wanderers and give your people a warning next time, please. So we could be. I read this after I read this while I was already mourning on Sunday. Okay, I'm gonna need you to drop some videos and warnings when we need to watch ourselves and Gordon ourselves.
I just need to lay before the Lord more, because I swear it's like every day I be wanting to just smack the cheeks of.
It's trauma.
Yeah, it's
trauma. Okay, come on, Trey Dave.
Okay, so I am an empath.
Yes, that means, okay, before you go, you're the kindest, meanest person on the planet.
That's right.
Okay, then thank you so much. Keep on going.
Correct. And I was like, well, damn. But damn, that's me. That's me. Because I can tell you off so smooth and polite.
Mm-hmm. The words got daggers on them.
Don't even know you've been cut until you left. So when I told my supervisor, I'm gonna just be neutral in my energy around here. It's not gonna be positive, and it's not gonna be negative.
Oh, you brought up something so good. Keep going. Oh my God, let me write that down. Go ahead, Trinace.
I say I'm not gonna give nobody nothing. I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna be in my little window, Well, we got to be a team. I say, so look, me being a team is not predicated on me saying goodbye, good morning, or good riddance to none of these bitches up in here. Period.
You got a couple of amens out here. You got a couple of amens out here.
So thank you for telling me why I be the way that I be. Cause I told that girl off today, so nice and polite, running out there. You working outside? I say, I'm out. I'm just looking at her. I'm outside. Why are you running outside to ask me? Am I outside? I'm out here. What do you mean? And then she told me, well, such and such. I say, look, baby, I'm helping this guest. Can you talk to me another time? And then she tried to check me. Don't nobody check me. No, nobody. All the time.
Office hours.
I say, so look, baby, these are guests out here, and this is not the appropriate time to be having this conversation. She scurried on back in the building. That's what you better do. This is not the appropriate time to be talking about company policy in front of the guests, because they already don't trust us. And now you making me look like I don't know nothing. Gone on back in the building, honey. So you have just described me. And I did not know.
There you go. Good job, Yolanda. Hey, y'all clap for her. That's the break.
Yes, honey. Yeah, you are not alone.
Yeah.
Antonio,
yes, sir.
based on
Go
what
ahead.
Trinae said, I gotta tell a story.
You too, huh, Jerome?
Oh, this is a good one.
Jerome's an empath with his nice, mean ass.
This is a nice one. I'm teaching a class in Boston, and I teach the classes the way I teach my classes. And I think I'm pretty good at it. And most of the people that are in my classes think I'm pretty good. So I taught the class. I tell my little jokes, have everybody laughing. They learn, they pass the test, everybody's happy. So in this particular class, we had some higher ups. That's why Trinae was saying that. We had some higher ups in there. Well, they didn't like my humor. Oh, they did not like my humor at all. Instead of pulling me off to the side and speaking to me or letting somebody in the room that knew me, let them know that they were offended, they went to either the president or the vice president of the company. And we were a new vendor teaching. So the word comes back to my boss that my jokes were inappropriate, my jokes were whatever like that, and boom, 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 they had a problem with that. But I taught the information, so they appreciate that they got what they paid for. But that funny, that's not gonna happen. So when I get back, I turn all my paperwork like I normally do. He calls me into the office. He said, Jerome, they talk to you. I said, yes, boss, what's up? Got the feedback that some of the people in the class did bum, 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 with your little jokes, and that wasn't funny. And he says, and I just needed to let you know. And I went, what? Oh yeah, bum, bum, bum. And I said to him, he said to me, he says, Jerome, everybody doesn't accept him. I said, you know what, Joe? I said, this is a new client, right? He said, yeah. I said, here's what I'm going to do based on the information you got. I'm going to write a letter of apology, and I want you to send it to the president of the company, okay? And I say, you can be assured that if I go back again, if they pay us again 6 figures, okay? I said, you can be assured that you don't have to worry about that happening again, because you're not paying me to be funny, you're paying me to teach, okay? But no, Jerome, I said, no, Joe, this is what I'm gonna do. So I sent him the letter. I don't know if he's forwarded it or not, but about 6 months later, 8 months later, I'm back at the same place. Teaching again, okay? I ain't say one joke. I ain't say one hyperbole. I ain't say what, I'm not trying to nice. No, because that ain't what I'm being paid for. I'm being paid to teach. Well, a couple of the higher ups who know me on the first break came over to me, Jerome, yeah, what's up? What's wrong? Excuse me? What's wrong? Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. What's going on? But you didn't say nothing about your disability. You ain't say nothing about the short bus. You ain't say nothing about your, what I said. That, my bad. You see, I'm not here to be funny. I'm here to teach. And that's what the hell I'm going to do. What's going on? See, the last time I was here, let me tell you something. I told them what happened because they didn't know. Whoever did it on a down low. And they was saying, the next thing I know, when the break was over, the three of them, and these were big wigs in the company, said, I don't know who the hell, blah, 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 blah. And you know I enjoyed that immensely.
I was just gonna say, long as you know, you acting like Yolanda and Trey Lace. I was just gonna let you finish.
but I enjoyed, listen to me. I enjoyed that so much. Who the hell you think you messing with? Yep. This is Romy Wrong Baltimore Zone. You don't know, you better ask somebody.
You got Tempest again.
I had to thank you, Shanae. I had to tell that story because you're right. When you know you got it and people try to, I bet you won't.
Y'all nice and nasty.
But like a young lady told me in the army, she said, you could tell a person to go to hell and never say a cuss word. I said, moi.
This is y'all.
Try Jesus.
Yes, that's the one.
Not me. Cause I throw hands.
That's the one.
Try Jesus. Please don't try me. Because I'm fine.
They're a bunch of balanced Christians. Ken, come save them, Ken. Come save them. Come save them.
I felt that in my shanana, yes.
Come save them. Come save them. And look, you know, and then
you can't say what you do, bro, because I throw hands too.
Well, this is Ken then. This Ken.
Now, listen to this one. See, there was this king, and he had 3 daughters, see. So he told all the princes of the land that if you wanted my daughters,
I need to talk to you, Big Red.
Give me a minute. Can't you see I'm talking?
No. I need to talk to you right now about my royalties and how you keep your books.
My office hours are from 9 to 5.
Fuck your office hours. I need to talk to you right now, motherfucker.
Excuse me, lady. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let y'all see him throw him over the balcony. The point is, that's all you nice impacts.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it, man. It don't get good until it's time.
Right.
My office hours. Like,
and then he smiled with it.
No, what threw me crazy is though he gonna say, "What you doing, man? What you doing?" Then you want to talk? We talking.
Let me go ahead for my friend agent.
Open up the goddamn
Don't do this, man! Don't do this, Big Red! No! Oh my God!
What about my books?
Nothing.
What you want to talk about?
Nothing, please! I can't talk to nothing! Nothing!
What you want to talk about?
Nothing, please! Let me up!
Give me one. Come on, boy. Bring him here.
Let me up! Let me up!
Now, if you have any other problems with your royalties and my books, my office hours are from... My office hours are from...
And that leads me to the next 2 points. That's all you
I just want to say amen.
Impasse.
Amen.
See.
Thank you. And thank you, Antonio, for playing that song, because I was thinking that, try Jesus. Don't try me. Because I
all the impasse.
Thank you. Thank you for requesting that.
All you prophets.
Thank you.
All you impasse, all you prophets, all y'all. I didn't plan on playing the whole video. I knew you cultured folk would know instantly that my office hours are 9 to 5. That's a classic Black movie called The 5 Heartbeats, written by Robert Townsend. It's
classic.
You can't be Black without watching it. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. So everybody Black know that movie. I wrote down.
Gee, I've been delivered.
I bet you
now
have.
I gotta add it because I gotta go watch that.
It is a great movie. It is a great movie.
Yellow tape no more. I don't go and see what they pick up.
You save folk. You impasse.
I've been delivered.
Me and Tippers
That is
understand
an empathic movie. That whole movie, like if you go from the beginning to the end, like when he takes the man off of the piano because he playing his song the wrong fucking way, right? The whole thing, that whole movie says something to people. But I want y'all to know, I got a text message like 2 days ago in all caps, and I believe that's like cussing at me, all caps, about how much of a God person I was and how horrible of a daughter I am and all of this other stuff. And it didn't even come from my fucking mother. It came from a lady that called me daughter for like years, but we haven't done it for like a few years. I haven't even called her back. She called me 3 times. Today, I was actually vexed. Like, I need to call this lady because people die and shit like that.
Absolutely
like
no
when,
reason
when
to
you
call.
holding on to shit like that, people die.
Okay, Phil.
So I said to myself, I'm a caller to just settle this. But I'm glad that I haven't talked to her yet because now I'm talking to y'all.
Yeah,
and
don't even call.
I'm gonna stay where I've been because if she called back the day she does catch me, she ain't gonna catch me in wherever she thought her all cat was gonna take me in all my God that I love so much. But just me not responding to her was so different, I guess, from anything that I normally would have done. But she is a person that plays off of that, like the text was supposed to make me hurt enough to call her, but then she was just gonna hurt me when I called her. So I'm just glad I'm sitting here listening to all that. But my office hours is from 9 to 5.
9 to 5. That's you impasse. 9 to 5. Trey Nace was minding her business outside. Hey, you. Yeah, see, Trey Nace, she turned her hand around. Now my office hours. What you coming out here for? You talk to me in my classroom, in my office. Don't talk to me out here. My office hours from 9 to 5. Okay, go ahead, kids. Oh, I don't know. Check this out. Me and Tippers understand this because we both victims of it. No. We're not victims of this. We Mr. T in the 1980s with this. Charles Barkley with some speed stick. Michael Jordan in the 4th quarter. Emotionally controlling the room so you don't blank with us. Come on, Tempest, help me out.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on, help me out, Tempest. Look at her, she laughing. No, that's that predator stuff. But since we not punching nobody, Damali, hanging nobody off the balcony, but I bet Yolanda know how to emotionally control the room to let everybody know, not today.
Can I tell you something?
Come on, talk to us.
So, okay. When before when I was on the calls, when Tempest was on the calls with us, I was always afraid to ask her any questions because she comes off as this, I don't know, like this perfect person. Like she was intimidating. Like she's not like that at all. She's a wonderful person. I love her for it. But I was like, wow, like I wanted to be her. I wanted to be like her.
Everybody says that. Everybody says it. Everybody would be Tempest and Tempest be like, Hey peasants, how you doing? Yeah, that's not what she does.
Tempest just hit me with that because I need a recording of the last class that we had, because that right there, what Tempest was saying, I felt like that was just like, are you my life story? What the world you in my business for?
If I let Tempest teach one full class, wouldn't even need to be no 40-week class. She'd get it all done. All 40 weeks done in 1 2-hour session. Get y'all right, 1 2-hour session. You hear me? 1 2-hour session. But me and Tempest know we experts at it. See, Deanna can't do it because now she can. Don't get it twisted. But Deanna is not vindictive like me and Tempest. You understand? I'm not saying y'all not vindictive. I'm not saying she not vindictive. But Deanna got a low point because she's blessed. Y'all got low points. But me, Deanna, and Kid, if we want, me, Tempest, and Kid, if we want to, ain't nobody being comfortable today. As a matter of fact, Adonia, you pissed me off 3 weeks ago. So every time you see me, your armpit sweating in my presence. and while I'm joking, somebody went, "No, Antonio, me too. It ain't just you."
Hey, yo, Antonio. Funny thing is I had a boss, one of the girls I used to work with, our boss, and she said, Renee, I think he's scared of you. I don't think he know how to take you. And I said, good. I said, I want him not to know how to take me. That means he will come at me with so much stuff.
Renee. So I want all of y'all to know you are emotionally controlling the room because of your trauma.
Yeah, and I didn't like him, so I wanted him to feel uneasy.
That's kind of the point, Renee.
Yeah, that's the trauma. I know.
Look, you one of them nauseous. I didn't like him, so it's his fault. I don't like him. And it's his fault he let me do it. This is important, y'all. I'm not telling you Adonia and Deanna, who are pretty much the same person, don't have this ability. I'm just saying, you can't go lower than some of us. I ain't got no off switch. When I cut off from being mean, it's because I done got too tired from being mean.
Yes.
It's not because I had a conscience. It's because it's time.
Okay. I get it. Yeah, I couldn't be that way because my conscience be too like.
I will break all your clowns on that wood knot shelf and everything you put over me, and not even apologize for it. I'll be like, you put this up, F this table, boom. Anything you put over me in this house. And then finally, when you calm down, all right, don't make me do it again. With no apology. Don't make me do it again. You're not even gonna apologize? I never apologize for what I do because I did it on purpose. It's what I'll tell you. And the truth is,
my kids.
But see, here's the truth. As much as y'all hate me saying that, you too. Ain't nobody in here ever did something you didn't want to do. The difference between me and you, I'm crazy enough to admit it. It's always you. Let me tell you the worst.
In my check, isn't that the reason why I get a check? I tell them all the time, I do get a check, and it comes every day. It comes every month. That's the only thing that I can do.
She not talking about her check for her kneecaps.
No.
She talking about cuckoo.
I'm talking about liable to do. Liable to do. Don't come wrong, because I'm liable to do. And it's paper. It's on the paper. They said don't fuck with her. And then I got another one that said,
you said that strong. That came out real strong.
They smoke the weed. Let her smoke the weed if you're having a problem. Maybe she needs a 20-minute break.
No doubt.
Ain't you supposed to come with papers?
Damali a Leo too? Oh,
Yeah, we all
Lord.
Leos, baby.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why I always tell with Damali, I say it's the thing that you got to learn about that power. And I guess it's the lion and the lamb thing, because of the fact that we have the power to blow the room up and tear the room up and
y'all
tear it
do.
down.
And y'all do.
We're not really supposed to grab that power. But it's funny because all of those natal charts and all that kind of stuff, and all of my stuff is always that power. But watch that power, because that power can kill it. This power can do this or that. So it's like a learned it thing, I believe.
Yep. No, it is. No, yeah. Most of this stuff is learned for sure. Check me out. Every class, me, Tempest, and Deanna and Grace been doing this for 8 years. This is the 8th cycle. We got as many years as Tyra Banks in Who Wants to Be a Top Model, whatever it is. American Next Top Model. Whatever the name of it is. Check this out. Every class is 6 born and raised Christians. It's always Christian. That always are quiet and always want to help people. Never say nothing unless they can look good. Always say, ooh, they crazy. And be the worst people in the class. Every cycle is always the same. When every time you read the Bible and you always the good person in the story, you got serious issues and you don't know it. You cannot always be every right person in the Bible. The scriptures keep trying to jump out at you and say, oh, she, wait, Antonio, wait, you denied it didn't come back. Nah, Antonio go, that's why she, not me. Because we know how to look, especially Black folk, we know how to look good. So good, you can't see my sins. The problem with trauma is it's invisible. I'm gonna get Sandra, but wait, she's gonna be the first person. No, actually, let me get her now. No. Hold on, Sandra. Just remember what you're gonna say. This is a blessing. I'm setting you up. Watch this.
I had the absolute pleasure of introducing one of my friends who I've recently met. She's currently down in Texas. Her name is Michaela McNatt. And Michaela is a trainer in neuro-linguistic programming, a master success coach, and Reiki master. As many are hearing the call to make an impact in the lives of others, Michaela realized the need for training and education around how to safely guide a client through the depths of true transformation. It's so interesting about how we identify with how we used to be in the past or how we grew up. And we just think that that's all we're ever going to be capable of because we don't understand what's actually possible for ourselves.
Absolutely.
When we do release these unconscious beliefs. So just on that note, how does somebody's own psychology directly impact their ability to earn and keep their money?
Totally.
What would you say is something that somebody's psychology would hold them back?
Totally. So I want to start this conversation with the awareness that we are essentially walking sponges for the first several years of our life. Maybe you've had this conversation here, so it might be a recap for some of you, but maybe this is new information for others. So let's just take a second to talk about that. From ages 7 to 8-ish, around that period of our life, is when we're developing what's called our critical faculty. Some other teachings would maybe call it a critical factor. But essentially what this means is, imagine with me a gateway from your conscious mind. So the conscious mind is what's listening to us right now. Maybe you're driving, maybe you are sitting down with a cup of coffee. Your conscious mind is activated right now, right? You're listening to us, you're you're following what I'm saying. Whereas your conscious mind or your unconscious mind, your subconscious is the part of you that is beating your heart, that is taking breaths, that is supporting your body upright. You don't have to think about those things. You don't have to tell your heart, okay, beat, okay, beat, right? It's just doing that.
Yeah.
So your unconscious mind is the part of you that is maintaining all of those functions. And it's also the part of you that holds those beliefs, that holds your beliefs around money or beliefs about success. So back to this critical faculty part, the critical faculty is a gateway between your conscious and unconscious mind. So up until age 6, 7, 8, that critical faculty wasn't fully developed. It was wide open. So everything that you saw, everything that you modeled, everything that your parents or guardians told you about money, you just absorbed like a sponge because you didn't have this critical thinking ability to say, oh, that's empowering. I'm going to take that in as belief. Or that's maybe not the best for me. I'm going to leave that. Up until age 7 to 8, you didn't have that ability. So you were this sponge. You just soaked it all in. Now, on the other side of that, right, once the critical faculty's been developed, and now all of us, right, we can be walking down the street, and if someone says, your outfit's ugly, you could say, well, no, my outfit's fabulous. I'm not going to accept that, right? You can say, no, I don't want that, because you have that critical faculty in place. Whereas when you were a little kid, you didn't have that. So on the topic of money, when you saw your parents fighting about money, and it was just this constant stress in the family of, you know, someone spending more than the other one wants to, or there's never enough, or, oh my God, how could you spend that much on, you know, the grocery run? If that is what you saw, then money and stress and fighting is now entangled. If you were told often, well, who do you think you are to want that? We don't make that kind of money. Our family's not that type of earner. Who do you think you are to want that outfit or want to go on that school trip, or all of these little things we soaked up. So now in adulthood, as you know, you get married, or as you share finances with a partner, or you just begin to start paying your own bills and you start to manage your own money, all of that stuff is still there. And for many of us, we weren't taught an empowering way to call money forward, hold money, invest money. For many of us, money was always it was taboo, one. So we didn't grow up talking about money with our friends. And two.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because I want to get Sandra. Moral of the story, trauma is effing with your money. Everything you're doing. And remember, all the funny stuff we say we do and all that, my office hours is from 9 to 5. Every time we went off on somebody, emotionally controlled the room, corrected somebody, all we did was tell the universe, this is my energy, get money away from me. Remember this, and then Sandra, get ready. I won against Tempest, but not against God. Yeah, Tempest won that argument against me. Not against the law of attraction. You hear me? Felt good going off on Antonio. Didn't feel good forfeiting one of your dreams when you did. Come on, Sandra.
Okay. I just had a question for everyone here, but address specifically to Adrian for that comment she made about she gotta have a weed. But Adrian, do you think that power and that condition of off and on that we actually do have is the mark that we are carrying that makes us different? Just curious what you think.
Agent, that was for you.
I don't look at it as a mark. I look at it more like an armor. So
like a what?
The armor, like a protector, like a protection of something that's how I look at it. But if you're saying the mark, like the mark of the chosen, then I guess you could think of it like the mark, but I look at it like it's the armor. Like when you show up in the room, they know that you're the strongest thing in the room. So they have to come at you. So, but I look at it also like it happens to me so that everybody else don't have to deal with it, because everybody else might have walked away.
Right.
My mom taught me, I was the kid that didn't fight. So I'm the person that if you do have the problem with and you hit me, I'm going to go and get somebody. I'm not going to throw my hands because I'm just not going to make it look like I threw my hands. You know, the story's got to come back to my mom.
That's what abuse and manipulation is. I threw the rock and hit my hands. Yeah.
But when it comes down to that check, that crazy, I just looked at it like God gave it to me. But then when I needed it, if I get pulled over by the police and all that kind of stuff, and then they take me in front of a judge and they make it look like she's this, that, and the other thing because she did this, that, and the other thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I can call my neurologist and have them explain it to the judge, and things get done in a different manner with apologies and things of that nature. So I look at that more like it's the armor.
Yeah, I see I'm finna have to play something. I'm trying to find something real quick to help you.
What'd you say, Antonio?
I'm about to pull up something. I think I'm about to pull up. I'm about
Maybe
to pull
y'all
up
can
something
help.
important.
I don't like to have my camera on because I can see me. I can't see Antonio. How do I see Antonio?
Is this a phone? Are you on the phone or the laptop or something?
I'm on my tablet right now.
Okay, it should be a gallery view, like top right of where you see me. There should be like a little menu. If you hit that view, it should say something like gallery. Right now, you got me on speaker view. It should say gallery. It's top right. It'll be a little menu. And right now,
I don't have anything on my top right. So when you say right, it must be my left. So go ahead.
Or maybe swipe to the left. Yeah, because you know what? The tablet would work like a cell phone. Yeah, the tablet would because it's a mobile device. So she's right. If you swipe, you'll see people 4 at a time or something like that. Because the tablet is working.
Okay, here we go. Okay. It's like a little phone dial thing here or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna. You all just said something that made me change the direction of this. I want to talk about. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to. I don't know how to tell y'all that you're using your programming or religions to think about things a certain way. But I want to talk about addiction for a moment. I could tell you how I got you, Amanda. I'm not gonna forget you. I could tell you how weed or anything wasn't even illegal, but the reason it's illegal is because they wanted to hemp seed, blah, blah, blah. I could. That's irrelevant because this isn't about weed. This is about you all. As a lot of y'all got your cameras off, by the way, but this is, I'm about to say something real that y'all don't understand what y'all are doing. You have these preconceived notions of addiction of any kind, not understanding you are the worst addict on the planet. And I know you don't know this. I mentioned this in a podcast not too long ago, less than a week ago, but I didn't even know it was going to be relevant for today. Every last one of you who have a problem with any addiction, especially like, crackhead, anything like that, you're worse. The problem is you can see crackheadness on the outside.
Right.
So we, with our religions, with our gods, with our prestige, or whatever you want to call it, we shun these things. But I want you to watch science for a moment.
The brain is made up of tiny nerve cells called neurons. These neurons have tiny branches that reach out and connect to other neurons to form a neural net. Each place where they connect is integrated into a thought or a memory. Now, the brain builds up all its concepts by the law of associative memory. For example, ideas, thoughts, and feelings are all constructed and interconnected in this neural net, and all have a possible relationship with one another. The concept and the feeling of love, for instance, is stored in this vast neural net. But we build the concept of love from many other different ideas. Some people have love connected to disappointment. When they think about love, they experience the memory of pain, sorrow, anger, and even rage. Rage may be linked to hurt, which may be linked to a specific person, which then is connected back to love. Who is in the driver's seat when we control our emotions or we respond to our emotions? We know physiologically that nerve cells that fire together wire together. If you practice something over and over again, those nerve cells have a long-term relationship. If you get angry on a daily basis, if you get frustrated on a daily basis, if you suffer on a daily basis, if you give reasons for the victimization in your life, you're rewiring and reintegrating that neural net on a daily basis, and that neural net now has a long-term relationship with all those other nerve cells called an identity. We also know that nerve cells that don't fire together no longer wire together. They lose their long-term relationship because every time we interrupt the thought process that produces a chemical response in the body, every time we interrupt it, those nerve cells that are connected to each other start breaking the long-term relationship. When we start interrupting and observing, not by stimulus and response and that automatic reaction, but by observing the effects it takes, then we are no longer the body, mind, conscious, emotional person that's responding to its environment as if it is automatic. There's a part of the brain called the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is like a little mini factory, and it is a place that assembles certain chemicals that matches certain emotions that we experience. Those particular chemicals are called peptides. They're small chain amino acid sequences. The body's basically a carbon unit that makes about 20 different amino acids all together to formulate its physical structure. The body is a protein-producing machine. In the hypothalamus, we take small chain proteins called peptides, and we assemble them into certain neuropeptides or neurohormones that match the emotional states that we experience on a daily basis. So there's chemicals for anger, and there's chemicals for sadness, and there's chemicals for victimization. There's chemicals for lust. There's a chemical that matches every emotional state that we experience. And the moment that we experience that emotional state in our body or in our brain, that hypothalamus will immediately assemble the peptide that then releases it through the pituitary into the bloodstream. The moment it makes it into the bloodstream, it finds its way to different centers or different parts of the body. Now, every single cell in the body has these receptors on the outside.
And one cell can have thousands of receptors studying its surface, kind of opening up to the outside world. And when a peptide docks on a cell, it literally, like a key going into a lock, sits on the receptor surface and attaches to it and kind of moves the receptor, and kind of like a doorbell buzzing, sends a signal into the cell.
It's party time!
A receptor that has a peptide sitting in it changes the cell in many ways. It sets off a whole cascade of biochemical events, some of which wind up with changes in the actual nucleus of the cell. Each cell is definitely alive, and each cell has a consciousness, particularly if we define consciousness as the point of view of an observer. There is always the perspective of the cell.
A few years later!
cell is the smallest unit of consciousness in the body.
I'm hungry. My definition of an addiction is something really simple. Something that you can't stop.
Oh, make me suffer, please. You hurt.
We bring to ourselves situations that will fulfill the biochemical craving of the cells of our body by creating situations that meet our chemical needs.
It always happens to me. Every day.
An addict will always need a little bit more in order to get a rush or a high of what they're looking for chemically.
Don't tell me to calm down. You're always bossing me around.
So my definition really means that if you can't control your emotional state, you must be addicted to it.
Oh, I knew this was gonna happen.
All right. So I'm gonna throw out my agenda. Stop multitasking. Y'all come back. Y'all pay attention to me. This is now the most important thing that I have said thus far in this class. I know this. I breathe this. I forgot what podcast I was just on. It'll come out someday. I genuinely just said this less than a week ago. I watch y'all claim you're over things, not understanding you're still addicted to what you're over. And every day, I watch you pretend. That's why you can't cut your camera off in this class. I watch you pretend. I watch you hide. Because somebody else, you can see their addiction. But scientifically, you used to being mad. You're addicted. You are a crackhead to the peptides, specifically adrenaline and more. You are a worse crackhead than a crackhead. Others of you, you know who you are. You're addicted to depression. You're addicted to abuse. You're addicted to defending yourself. Anything towards the end, this man says, so I define addiction as science. I define addiction as something you can't control. And there's not a single person on this call that got control of their emotions. I have talked to all you. If you think I'm wrong, you just literally lost control of your emotions. Because had you said that to me, I'd have been like, that's a good point. At no point do you say things to me and I get mad. I don't care what you say. You never bother me. Not because I'm a good person. I'm not addicted to the things I once was. The most important thing I have said thus far, I'm telling you, y'all are so fucking addicted to your trash. You show up to this class addicted. You literally come here. I'm not cutting my camera on. Fuck him. And it ain't personal to me. And I don't take it personal. But I know chemically you're addicted to the peptides that say, I'm trying, because you don't want to take responsibility for your life. So you need God to be in his will, not yours. You need to blame Trey Nace for going off on you so you can snap. That's just science. Now, you're more than welcome to disagree with me, but you'll be disagreeing with science. We have pictures of the hypothalamus. We have pictures of your neural networks. Tempest will tell you, I almost got my doctorate in cognitive developmental neuroscience. I do this. I kid you not. I cannot stress enough how important understanding that you are addicted. Genuinely, here's my notes. Move this out the way. If I come in my notes and I just type in cognitive and scroll down enough, you will see my degree track. Let's see, neuroscience. You will see, well, I can't spell neuroscience. You will see my whole degree track. And I was like, nah, that's all right. I'm doing well. We'll go to school later. And then I became me and I had to go to school. You are absolutely addicted. You're addicted to the fact that your mama hurt you and you still run around with that. You're addicted to your trauma. You're addicted, you're addicted, you're addicted. And the same peptides that make you emotionally control the room, you're addicted to. The same peptides that make you a victim, you're addicted to. And then you have the balls to sit here and tell me how you're well. I don't say nothing, but you're not well. Because for 40 years, you have been developing the nerves that wire together. And you expect him to believe because you had a breakthrough. Your brain unwired a neural network so strong, it has become, wait for it, your identity. That's exactly the definition of personality. Neural networks that are together so much, they're no longer distinguishable. They are now what we call identity. And the thicker they are, the faster that information from the brain flies. This is why you have the illusion of having it together. But the truth is, if you would ever be transparent, as pretty as you are a piece of garbage. Not in worth. You're a piece of garbage to your husband. You're a piece of garbage to your wife. Some of y'all don't even like all your kids and have the audacity to pretend to be well and coach people. It makes no sense. I know folk who hate their spouse. And the only reason they're with their spouse, I give you a list of the most common reasons. God won't let them leave. They can't leave because they're a pastor. Uh-oh, there I go cutting deep again. They waiting for the kids to get older. He's a good babysitter. I'm not stable enough to be on my own. He gonna take the kids from me. She gonna take the kids from me. These are the most common. I'm sorry, Amanda. I want to hear you, but I got to put my weight on this. And then we sit here and we judge Antonio for smoking weed, for having a drug problem. When your drug problem is manipulating your kids so they do what you want. And you've been doing this since those kids been born. To be honest with you, most of you, the people closest to you, don't like you. They love you, but you're mean. They don't like you. Say what you will.
Yo, shut up, okay?
Talk to me, cuz. Talk to me.
Listen here, bro. For real though, because I have been told, and guess what? I come to you. I come there to the ATS to get better with me. So I got this thing. But no, I can honestly say that I'm probably I am a piece of shit. I've been a piece of shit for a long time. And I'm really nasty. And I don't even mean to be. So I'm glad that I'm hearing these things, because for a long time, I just thought it was just me. But now that I know that it is the trauma in me.
Word up.
That done grew up with me.
Word up.
And then not to mention when I was a school teacher, like my doctor told me that when I got sick, because of the fact that I was in the classroom and I was dealing with all of the stuff, I guess, of my kids' trauma.
Right.
That it was like on a daily, that was my thing. That was the only reason why I was living. Like I was taking their stuff home with me and working on it and making sure that everything was working. But then when I stopped working, that's how it all piled up on me.
Word up.
And then he said that's how like the plaque built and everything, because it was like the things that I would normally be able to take, process, and help, I no longer had the outlet for the help. So then it just became something that piled and piled and piled.
Right.
But even to see all of it, I mean, you sent the video, you showed us that video after I made my comment. So I'm thinking, okay, how you say it's not you, but it is all of yous. And then I'm thinking, well, shit, no, I'm taking this. Like, this is real, this is real personal. And then Jerome always says, you know, you throw the sneaker in the crowd, the dog that got hit with bark. And I'm thinking, don't say nothing. I'm like, okay, wait. Now I have heard people have told me many times that they love me, but they don't like.
You ain't the only one on this call?
Oh no. I get in the situations because of me. And then when I go back to explain it to the people that I love, they say, but you did that shit again. I'm like, what shit? They like, you did you again. And I'm like, I don't understand. They're like, you're too engaged. You do this. You like, you open yourself up to this shit. And I'm like,
well,
okay. Like, but the people that are closest to me
think you the worst.
And it maybe because they know me.
And
that is why. But no, I'm glad you said something, because as this coaching thing goes on and everything, and everyone says that, oh, you should be a coach. I'm thinking, no, I'm the last person that could be a coach or anything. Like people, I would never tell you to do anything, because at the end of the day, I can't do it myself. So me coaching don't sound right. Now me being a helper and encouraging you to do what you think that you should do is more so how I believe me to be. But I'm not a queen chi. You ain't seeing me with
Queen Chi ain't a queen chi.
But she working on it.
Ain't an Antonio.
She working on it. But y'all working on it. It's certain things that you're working on. Certain things that, like, I pull up the camera and be like, man, I'm not shit.
No, I get it.
So speak on that.
I got you.
Is that an addiction too?
Yes, absolutely yes. Whatever hormone that your body is pumping out that makes you not only be on the offense, but then have to defend yourself and prove everybody wrong about how you not this mean, you're addicted to that.
Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, now. You done said a mouthful. Oh yeah, I'm coming. You done said a damn mouthful, okay? So let me tell you this.
I threw out the whole agenda.
Well, okay, exactly. So let me tell you this. Number one, before I say what I gotta say, okay? I've been here a couple of years, okay?
Yes, sir.
So no matter what I said, I'm still here. That's number one.
Sir. Yes.
Number two, the SHIT that you just spit out, okay? All right. Okay. And I know I'm not just speaking for myself, okay? As I receive that, it does not line up with internally what I feel. So there's a part of me that's sitting there going, he full of shit, okay?
Yes.
Now, but there's another, did I say that come out of my mouth? So there's another part of me that says, but Jerome, if what he's saying is true.
Go ahead and cut your camera off, Adonia, and fix your food. Okay, fix your food. She's been working on
this. What he's saying is true. Well, that's not a good thing for you, Jerome. But if what he is saying is true, then here's what I say to you, Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
What the hell am I supposed to do with what the hell you just told me?
I'm so glad you asked, and I'm so glad you was real. You want to say something? Yes. Grace want to say something.
Antonio, Deanna, and Tempest love me to life. They don't like me. They ain't got no reason to like me. Listen, if y'all knew half the shit about Grace, Monica don't know half the shit about Grace. Okay, but them three right there, oh yeah. I'm dead serious. Y'all know I would tell y'all in a minute. Hey, do not be like me. Okay. Wait a minute, we all family. These niggas should have been left me. They should have been left me long time ago. I asked Jesus, why they still here? Why they still here? They really love me. They do. Okay. My cousin for real, Deanna, we just found this out like some years ago. She told me last week, look here, I love you. Nigga, I would cut you off in a minute, okay? Because I did some foul stuff, okay? It's neither here nor there. But she's like, hey, I love you, but no, I can't. One more time and I'm gone, okay? So if these three, and I'm core, these three, yeah.
Well, Tempest and Deanna may like her. I damn sure don't. I love her. I'm direct.
I know you.
I've got no problem. There are every class. There are, I think that was 7 class. Every class, 2 of y'all who is not named Tempest, Deanna, or Grace, have texted me after every class to hide your bullshit. This is what you did. It was you know what? It was a good class. You said something, and then you fucking right after that went off on me for what I said. You know exactly who you are. Look, not one time, all 6 or 7 times. You use positivity. You get hit, and then you get addicted to that, and then you got to come hit me. And every time, you never get a response from me. I don't even know why you keep doing it. But it's the truth. You have a serious addiction. And
that's why they keep doing it, because they're addicted.
There you go. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Prophet Jerry. Pay attention, please. Because I'm about to wrap this up. I'm not nice. I got my evil in check. There's nobody here that has a single thing on me. I'm not that sneaky. I'm that real. I'm not sneaky. I'm not smart. I'm not nice. I'm the big bad wolf, not being a big bad wolf. I killed those addictions. I don't need to get mad at Tempest for doing well. Nor do I need to take credit for Tempest for doing well. I watch y'all do it all the time. I watch y'all see somebody post something and you just have to say, oh yeah, I seen that the other day. Shut up. Why would you invalidate what Arshia just posted? Nobody knew you saw that, but you fighting you got a battle going on in your head that Arshia couldn't even be happy with what she thought she added value to the group. Because you want to go, oh yeah, I saw that. Shut up. You so addicted to being important, Arshia can't even have
Sometimes they
a
see
moment.
it, they know they saw it, they rewatch it, and they don't even like it or comment. But let something pop off, and then they get you by they self. Oh, I seen that. And you thinking like, what? Why the hell you didn't like it? Why you didn't post it? You a hater.
No, there's not a group. There's not a group, Trey Day. We just hang out all the time. There's not a group. Listen, you are addicted. I'm gonna get Frida. She'll be last comment, and we getting out of here. You are addicted. Well, I get Frida in a manner because I don't want to do it like that. You are addicted. and you are the worst addict, because all of us are the worst addict. I'm so addicted to my stuff, I have to smoke crack as a side effect to cover up my real addiction. My real addiction is a trauma. I'm using drugs to numb the pain from my trauma, which is my real addiction.
Wow.
Hiding is an addiction. Thank you so much, Tempest. Now, listen, you have my full permission. I said this last week, I said it this week. You got my full permission. Get on here and say, fuck you, I'm not cutting my camera on. You got my full permission. And I would not bother you. I'm still gonna say, have your cameras out. That's my job. I'm not gonna bother you. I just need you to know how you show up here is how you show up to your husband, how you show up to your wife, how you show up to your mama, how you show up to your son, how you show up to your daughter. And I just said that, and somebody is so addicted, or some people are so addicted, they just think I singled them out. That's how crazily addicted y'all are. That was a generic example. And you're going right now, he not gonna talk about me like that. You are out your mind. That's how addicted we are, to where we don't hear anything but, is he pointing at me?
I'm laughing because I've been there.
You've been there. You've been there. I walked in here today. I don't know what the hell was going on with Grace. She was happy and she came out. I was like, what the hell you doing? Am I lying?
Yeah.
What the hell you doing? Well, I just wanted to say, I say, Grace, I don't want to hear that. Your birthday tomorrow. Then I said, is this going to change? She said, no. You going to stop doing it? She said, no. Am I going to stop doing it? She said, no. Are you okay? She said, no. Are you in trouble? She said, no. Somebody watching you? She said, no. I said, what the fuck are you talking about it for then? Just please tell them.
No, everything he said. No, yeah, we had that conversation.
I said, Grace, I'm going to tell you what's really wrong with you. May I say it? I'm going to tell you what's really wrong with you, Grace. And we gave all her friends gave her present today. I'm going to say, that's what we did. I'm going to tell you what's really wrong with you, Grace. You got your presents from your friends and you feel like shit. So now you got to sabotage your damn birthday tomorrow. If you don't stop, she was like, you right. And 2 minutes later, she was good. But that Grace sound like you. You can't even get a gift or compliment it without getting offended. Why? Because Grace is a bad person? No. Grace, like everybody else on this call, is addicted. Some of y'all, here's y'all sneaky addiction, being left out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So you never show up when you're supposed to. When you do show up, you hide. When it is time for you to go out with your friends, you always come late and you always leave early. So then you just stop going out. You don't even respond in the group messages. Everybody sit there in the group messages and talk, not you. Because you're so addicted to being left out, you make sure you create every scenario to be left out and then get mad when you left out. Just removing the notification. That's it. Just delete. You don't back read or nothing. Because you have to be left out. Come on, Frida, so I can put my weight on these closing thoughts. Now I'm ready to get out of here.
Well, look, you done got me at a good time because I'm sitting here buzzing real nicely. So,
Good, because you need the buzz during this class.
You damn sure, Skippy. So let's get down to this, the video that you showed. Can we get that in the chat, please? That last video?
Yep, sure can.
Can we get that?
Sure can, and it's a whole movie. It's actually called What the Bleep Do We Know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a movie by 2 quantum physicists and their assistant. Well, it's a book first, and the book got turned into a movie. There's a link right there. Tempest sent me something I want to share with y'all.
Okay, thank you.
No, you're very welcome. Tempest sent me something I want to share with y'all. This is what I was trying to come up with right here. Developmental cognitive behavior neuroscience. Why I couldn't find it. I almost went here, the University of Houston, to do this. It was either this or quantum physics. It was one or the other. Just to show you that, not kidding, here is that note I was looking for. Potential PhDs. And if you look at the date, January 20th, 2016. Why is that? Because Antonio graduated December 2015. I graduated with my master's December 2015. Less than a month later, I'm trying to go get my doctor's. We don't need no breaks. F these breaks. And University of Houston was developmental cognitive neuroscience. Thank you, Tempest, for sending to me. And I was going to go to Rice for philosophy. I said, well, maybe Rice. I ruled out Rice, and I'm not sure if, I was going to go to Baylor for a doctorate in philosophy and psychology. And then I finally settled on University of Houston, and I was going to go, I was going to go for foreign languages, what I needed, but don't worry about it. I finally settled on University of Houston, doctorates in mathematics. I kid you not.
Wait.
I'm not joking. Tempest, am I lying? Tempest drove me all the way to University of Houston. We called, she called, did it on three-way. And they was like, well, Mr. Smith, we'd love to have you. Your grades are incredible, but you got to start over with a bachelor's. We need to start you as a sophomore.
In mathematics?
And to start you over as a sophomore because you went to a liberal arts school. You went to a liberal arts school and you only have this many math classes.
Oh, no.
And then 10 years from now, you can get your doctorates. And I was like, well, the devil clearly done jumped in y'all lungs and let you say that bull that you just said. You're not going to get no more of my money like that. And then a little bit later, turned out I was actually quite successful. But I've been on this path for a long time of studying the brain. It was like that, or I wanted to be a brain surgeon, a brain psychologist, or a quantum physicist. That literally is what I want to do with my life.
Antonio.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it true that if you start doing something opposite of the way that you used to do, like if you brush your teeth with your right hand, instead of doing it with your right hand, you do it with your left hand, that at that point you're building neurons?
Yes, you're absolutely, yeah, because any new skill you do, you're developing a new neural network. You understand what I'm saying? It's tightening up. So you're actually effectively making yourself smarter. You're effectively making yourself smarter. Queen Chi, you got a very good point. And now you get to be them all. Didn't think about that. I didn't think about that, but there you go. Instead of being one, I get to be all. Let's wrap this up. You suck. And so do I. And the faster you stop being a good person, it took me 4 weeks just to get y'all to admit this. And now you done said, well, that was 4 weeks ago. Nobody want to hear all that. There's nothing good about you and there's nothing bad about you. You are just God walking through this earth being you. How you want to show us what God look like is entirely up to you. But I do know this. Everything you've done has flowed through trauma. I feel like I need to take off every Friday to process the shame, man. We are so saved. We have no ministry.
Oh, reference.
We so saved. We have no ministry. Ministry is not about being saved. It is not. How you gonna be saved and talk to Trey Nace?
No, because Trinae's a damn fool and don't fucking know.
Did you see what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to hear all that God is good stuff when I'm pissed off. It's real talk. Y'all so saved. You got no ministry because you can't be a human. If you heard what kids said, no, I can't talk about that because I throw hands too, right? Look. So why is it that we have to do things that are uncomfortable to us to be able to grow? Because that's part of the ascension process. Because in comfort, there's no reason for ministry. In comfort, there's no reason for growth. If you were comfortable, carbon-based creatures do two things. We live. This is, you know what, Amanda, you asked a good question, so I can play this video and end this out. Carbon-based creatures do two things. Hold on. There we go. Cognitive-based creatures do two things. We live, that's our damn job. And then after living, all we do is pass on information to the next generation. So what exactly, oh, I didn't even do that. So what exactly are we about here in this life? Well, I don't know if you're going to receive this, but I'll rip it real quick so I can play it. I don't know if you're going to receive this, but when you are comfortable, there's a certain thing that you do. When you are uncomfortable, there is a certain thing that you do. And this is on a molecular level. You don't get to be so saved that you don't have cells. This, as far as your body goes, the smallest level of individual consciousness is your cells. As far as the universe goes, the smallest level of individual consciousness is a proton. Unfortunately for you, Katrina, your cells are full of protons. So you're literally walking around here with double consciousness. You're literally walking around here with the power of the Father, the power of the Son, and the power of the Holy Spirit. It's all in your cells. That's just what your ancestors called it. Pay attention to this.
If life starts approximately 1 billion years ago, we will have to wait 400,000 years to see the aberration of the first nerve cells. This is where life as we know it begins. Brains in formation of only a few milligrams. It's not possible to determine any sign of intelligence yet. It acts more as a reflex. 1 neuron, you're alive. 2 neurons, you're moving. And with movement, interesting things begin to happen. Animal life on Earth goes back millions of years, yet most species only use 3 to 5% of its cerebral capacity. But it isn't until we reached human beings at the top of the animal chain that we finally see a species use more of its cerebral capacity. 10% may not seem like much, but it's a lot if you look at all we've done with it. Now let's discuss a special case. The only living being that uses its brain better than us, the dolphin. It is estimated that this incredible animal uses up to 20% of its cerebral capacity. In particular, this allows it to have an echolocation system that is more efficient than any sonar invented by mankind. But the dolphin did not invent the sonar, it developed it naturally. And this is the crucial part of our philosophical reflection we have today. Can we therefore conclude that humans are concerned more with having than being? Let's imagine for a few moments what our life would be like if we could access, let's say, 20% of our brain's capacity. This first stage would give us access to and control of our own body.
Sir?
Yes.
Has it been proved scientifically?
Well, for the moment, it's just hypothesis, I confess. But if you think about it, it's troubling to realize that the Greeks, the Egyptians, and the Indians had notion of cells centuries before the invention of the microscope. And what to say about Darwin, whom everybody took for a fool when he put forth his theory of evolution? It's up to us to push the rules and laws and go from evolution to revolution. 100 billion neurons per human, of which only 15% are activated. There are more connections in the human body than there are stars in the galaxy. We possess a gigantic network of information to which we have almost no access.
Sir?
Yes.
And what would be the next stage?
Well, the next stage would probably be control of other people. But for that, we would need to access at least 40% of our brain's capacity. After control of ourselves and others would come control of matter. But now we're entering into the realm of science fiction, and we don't know any more than the dog who watches the moon.
Excuse me, sir?
Yes.
But what would happen if, for some reason, we ignore somebody unlocked 100% of the cerebral capacity?
100%?
Yes?
I have no idea.
Thank you, Amanda, for that question. 2 minutes, I'm out of here. You got 100 billion things going on in your body, connections. Each one of them are conscious. At best, we're accessing 15% of that, not as far as brain, but just these levels of our bodies that are conscious. Antonio, why are you saying this? Why did you show us that nerd stuff? Because your trauma and your ego has all those galaxies of consciousness destroying your existence on this planet. That's why. You literally use a galaxy of stars worth of consciousness to disagree with me as if I matter. That's the difference between me and you. I don't disagree because I got shit to do. And I can't win an argument with you and get $100 billion cash. I got to choose one of them. I can't have both. Me and my existence and my 100 billions of neurons and conscious cells would rather be the light than be right. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate. Thank you all so much, everybody. We will see you next Thursday for more torture. It's all Kim's fault, y'all. It's
looking
all her
forward
fault.
to it.
I ain't looking forward to it.
Freaking love it.
Yes.
I don't like it at all.
Yes, that was
Uncomfortable.
that was from Lucy. All right, everybody. Love you.
Wait a minute, did you put that last video in the link?
Yeah, yes, that was Lucy, and it is her, right? Her, no, that's not it. Yep, right. Almost her, right. There you go. Don't you finally let me release it. Right there.
Thank you.
Go ahead and get it. Can't blame me. Got to blame pretty women. That's how it works. All right, y'all. Y'all
Got it.
have a good
Thanks.
one.
You
All right,
too.
bye.
Love you.